All my life I've been considered as the worst.
After hours, drowsy stepping, hear the sermon, hold the reverend. Long distance relationships with 777s. Who'd have guessed it? Feeling washed up before his prime mic sessions. And as for rhyming, it's his own.
Welcome back, my lovely little nomads, people and strangers everywhere across the internet. As I'm gonna get a little bit more comfy. Like, y'all can't see my head no more, but that's fine, that's fine. Today's whole thing for After Hours Review Retro Night is the 2014 horror film of Unfriended. Now, originally when I was looking at this movie, it was from the lens of the people over at Dead Meat, like James and Chelsea, because they're engaged and they like to get scared together. I was going into this whole thing like, maybe I'll give it a shot because of how innovative it is for what they're trying to do for the whole new grounds of horror for the teen death subgenre. And I was looking forward to watching this with fresh eyes, because I haven't seen this since I kind of got it from Unpromoted Berserkers, if you guys understand that Fire Emblem reference. Rewatching it today, though, since it got onto Netflix recently, it's not great. It's not a great film. For those of you that haven't seen Unfriended at this point, let me just give you a small synopsis. A bunch of very douchebaggy teens that, of course, are from the era where you can have a smartphone, but also be on the whole stuff of the Spotifys and the Facebook before Twitter could blow up to be the way it is, and how Instagram is today. Yeah, we just have like a bunch of shitty teenagers just trying to do their own thing of either online sex with each other because it's school night, or calling each other just the trashiest names. But at the same time, there is a so-called mysterious person on their Skype call with them, and one by one, everyone is just being tortured and terrified by this unknown being that happens to be someone that committed suicide and is probably taking out revenge. I say probably jokingly because we all know it's a revenge flick for ghosts, but with teenagers. But that's just the whole thing for the synopsis. But if I can kind of go into it a little bit on my own accord, I can understand why certain people would like this film for the inventive kills that they tried to do, how they tried to set up the atmosphere, the tone, how they try to make it seem relatable for the year of 2014 being a nice composite era of the 2010s. I can understand that. I feel you. I fucking feel you on that shit. Problem though. Me trying to dive into this whole film, I could not find a single character I actually felt bad about when they died. With Blair being the main focal character with her own unique quirks of just trying to be a regular teenager, that's fine. But the way they were written were just very obscurely mean. Like, even towards people that are like close friends. Granted, we all act like assholes with our friends. Me and my friends are no exceptions. We all act like assholes to each other. They make fun of me for my love of redheads. I make fun of my buddy Shannon for her love of PTX from time to time, about her obsession with them. My buddy Laurel gets some shit tossed her way because of certain anime characters that she has crushes on. We just keep it like at a small pace where it's not like trying to be at each other's chest. At least it's like surface level stuff, since we got thick enough skin to like take the back and forth. But not the whole thing of just calling each other trashy bitch this, or slut that, or all this other stuff of their proclivities being the big joke. That's not funny or relatable. That just makes you guys not even friends. But they try to portray it as if these characters are friends instead of just frenemies. That would be more realistic of like, yeah, we're cool-ish, but I don't know why we're in the Skype call. I guess it wouldn't sell in the narrative of just like a bunch of frenemies in a call together, because then they'd be like, if they're in a call together and they're frenemies, why would they be in the call? But at the same time, for realism's sake, nobody came off as friends. Nobody acted about being friends. Even when the chips were down, when a lot of kills went down for Val, when she was killed off, they were like, it's just a fucking joke. When Adam busts out a fucking gun where it was like this drunk teenager that sells dope and shit, they were like, oh, whatever, let's just get him angry because he's drunk and he has a gun and whatever. But then they were just trying to be like this whole dick measuring contest prior to his death to then act like they're sorry. And the whole message of the film for online bullying, I wanted to see resolution for it in a realistic way, and although it kind of was, where the people that see the whole cause for the suicide end up still being the people that cyberbully to get the bully to then commit suicide. That does happen in certain schools. That does happen in certain situations. That does happen in a lot of avenues. I'm not saying people are perfect, but it's kind of realistic because no one really learns their lesson. But I wanted the payoff to be more satisfying, like in certain other horror movies I could think of. But all in all, for everything, I couldn't find myself rooting for anyone, and that's a big thing when it comes to my enjoyment factor. It's why I'm so hard on certain properties nowadays, because I can't find certain characters to root for. Certain roles are meant to be likable. If you're supposed to be quirky, but you also don't know a lot about the technology stuff like Blair's supposed to, you're supposed to feel attached. If you're trying to look into characters like the super nerd slash the token fat kid of Ken, and he's just got all his whole different theories and dark humor, you're supposed to like him because tropes, whatever. Then there's characters like Jess, who's like the promiscuous blonde, but she's also supposed to be kind of sweet and down to earth. You're supposed to like that, but you don't. You then have Mitch slash Mitchell slash Mitchie, who's the boyfriend character. He's supposed to be the one that's enticing to Blair, and Blair being, of course, the main focus for us, the audience. We're supposed to be attached to Mitch on all accounts for everything, but we don't. Adam being, of course, the jockey slash pot dealing friend trope that apparently exists now, and he's got anger issues and drinks and has like $800 because of the drug selling, probably selling more than weed though, and all this sort of stuff for characters of those avenues. And even surprise character of Val, who's just like the whole vapid, very controlling and very aggressive female character who sticks to her credences and blah blah blah. They're all supposed to be likable, but nobody comes off as such, and that detachment doesn't make you feel anything when they die. When the kills happen, you're reveling in the decomposition. You're just enjoying seeing these characters die off. That's good, but not for the horror movie genre. You're supposed to find characters to attach yourself to feel some kind of sympathy, to feel a little bit of a connection. And I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's anyone else, but if I'm not really connecting, then this isn't really my speed. I applaud anyone that likes this film because I want to like it for the techniques, for what it tried to do, for innovation, for trying to capture what it's like to be a high schooler in certain situations, but also with a poltergeist theme. I want to like it on all those grounds, but if the characters aren't likable enough, then it's not going to be good. And that's just the problem. But all in all though, for my own rating system, I couldn't find a nice, even, balanced ratio with my own critiques along with just the goods and the bads. Since it was so evenly leveled, I didn't know to whether put it as just a 6 out of 13 or a 7 out of 13. But I kind of just had to meet myself in the middle and said 6.5 out of 13. With 2.5 stars out of 5 and giving it a C+. There is no additional items for this reward system right now because it's so in between. I don't know what to really fucking do, man. It's a very weird dichotomy about what I need to really look into. It's hard, my G. It is hard, okay? I'm trying, but it's hard. No, with all that said and done, guys, I'm gonna look into one more horror-based After Hours review retro to do for you guys, because I haven't done this series in a while. So look forward to that one. I'll see y'all on a couple. Yeah.